Okay, I have the Samsung Gear Sport and the Garmin Vivoactive 3 here. There's not a ton of videos that I feel like answer some of the questions that I have, so I thought I'd make my own little video. And I'll try to keep it short, but when I've kind of ran through this before, it ends up being like 10 minutes. So I don't know how that happens, but I'll try to not make it longer than it needs to be. I had a Fitbit as well, and it was my least favorite, so I returned it already, but they're all $300. The Fitbit is decently accurate on running, biking, swimming, tracking. I would say it's better than Samsung, but I would rely on Garmin more than I would on Fitbit. So, and the Fitbit had very limited smartphone functionality, so it's funny to me that it has the best reviews out of these two. But the screen's really good. It's really crisp, like the Samsung. So maybe that's the main reason. And just because it's a Fitbit, I don't know. But as far as these two go, if they can make one watch and combine these, that would be absolutely perfect. But they each have flaws that the other one is excelling at. So to sum it up, Samsung's really good for the smartphone features, your notifications, and just what you can do with this watch and the ease of the use. The UI and operating system is really good. Whereas the Garmin, it's very simple. It's a very dull screen compared to the Samsung. I try to get a watch face as similar as I could. And purple is black black is purple on the Garmin. It's just, yeah, it's not, I didn't choose purple. It's actually, they're black. And then I don't think my phone camera is going to do the Samsung justice as far as how clear and crisp it is. But it's awesome. Great screen. So Garmin's going to excel a lot in running, swimming, biking, tracking. So that's primarily where it's going to work and excel at. So that's why I say if they combine, that would be overall by far the best smartwatch out there with fitness and tracking as well. Obviously the Samsung is metal and the Garmin is plastic. Samsung feels like it's a little more premium than Garmin. The buttons and the dial feel just really good. The Garmin's button over here, it's got two levels to it, and the first level doesn't really do anything when I push it. And the second level, it does what it's supposed to do, but I'm not sure why it's got a give right there. It doesn't do anything. So as far as females go, these watches are good. I feel like size-wise. So maybe a touch smaller wouldn't be a bad idea, but this isn't that bad at all. But the Samsung just seems bulkier. I don't know why. Maybe it's the two-tone color that the Garmin has, but it just seems bulkier than the Garmin does. What else? App-wise, I think these two are pretty close. A lot of the apps that you're going to find in the stores that they have are watch faces. So, I mean, if one says they have 10,000 apps and this one says it has 5,000 apps, I wouldn't get too hung up on that. I don't know how many apps they actually have, but if you can't find a watch face that you like on one of these, I don't know what to do with you, but it should satisfy, what you're looking for as far as that goes. Battery life on these, I think the Garmin's going to last you longer than the Samsung, but you can do much more with the Samsung. There's a reason to use this other than just getting notifications. So, I'm not going to I'm going to plug this in every night. I'm not going to sleep with these, so it doesn't matter to me. The battery life is 5 days. It doesn't bother me to plug these things in at night. Step count, Samsung is a little more conservative than Garmin is. I might end up with 1,000 less steps with the Samsung, but as long as it's consistent with itself, that's not a big deal to me. Calorie counting on all three watches that I tested were way off. They're all crazy high. The Samsung, I had 9,300 steps one day, and it told me I burned 2,000 calories. And Fitbit, I had 10,000 steps and it told me I burned 2,100 calories. So it's just like, I don't even know why they put that on there. It's not even close to being accurate. Floor counting on Samsung, wouldn't count on it. It's not super accurate. Floor counting on the Garmin, I think is a little better. Fitbit was pretty good. Seemed like it was on it pretty well. So my big factor with these watches is tracking my swim, bike, and run. It's kind of my number one reason for getting these, is I could swim with them. Same with the Fitbit. And I felt like the tracking with swimming on the Garmin and the Fitbit were great. I felt like they were accurate. Samsung is inconsistent with swimming and biking and running. Distance in general is not a primary thing, apparently. Sometimes when I swim, this is usually less laps than the Garmin will tell me I did. And one time I swam for 20 minutes and it was 5 laps off. And it updated a week ago and I swam again and it was right on with the Garmin. But I've ran since then and my distance is off. If I pause this, I pause between each mile and stretch usually. That's when this distance got off more so than when it's just running. I'm usually like maybe 0.02 off when I'm running. When I pause it and start it up again, then I'm all of a sudden 0.06 off when I'm running. So I don't know if it's just that it doesn't pick up the GPS very well right off the bat when I start again, or what the deal is for sure. But it's really annoying because I'm kind of I want it to be accurate. It's a $300 watch. It should be accurate. My Garmin Forerunner 10 that I've had for 3 years is more accurate than this Samsung $300 watches. So I wouldn't buy the Samsung if you really want to be accurate on distance that you're going. I think the swimming, maybe I just want, it's never been off 5 laps consistently. It's off maybe a lap or 2. So, also with swimming, the Garmin, I can only change my distance. So I'm going to swim, as far as length of pool, from 25 to 50 yards or meters. The Fitbit and the Garmin, you can get more customized with it and go yard by yard. The Garmin will let you go down to 18 yards. I don't really know why there's a limit because, as far as I understand, that they're counting distance on it tracking you turning around. So I don't know why it would be limited on any of the watches. I think the Fitbit did about whatever you wanted. My pool, as far as I know, is about 15 yards long. So I just go by lengths when I compared the watches. And so when I run, I'm gonna put the running. By the way, when you get GPS on these, maybe I can do it at the same time. But I'm inside right now. That might be a problem in comparing. They're both pretty much the same as far as how long it takes to get your GPS. I saw one video that said that Samsung's GPS thing on the inside is not, it's like a step behind the Garmin. Maybe that's why it takes longer for, I don't even know. Maybe that's why it doesn't track as well. But so they're both start at the same time. So on the Garmin, I can switch to, let's see, I think, I kind of forget how to do it when I get them both together. Okay, here we go. This counts down, the other one doesn't, but you can see like the numbers in this one are big, and when I look at my watch, I don't feel like I have to search for my stats. You can change it to like 4 things on one screen or whatever. Samsung, you're stuck with these 3 rows, and like everything is just small. And when you put always on your screen for your watch when you're running, it usually defaults to the clock. And so when I flip it up, I just feel like I have to search sometimes for what I'm looking for. And if it's big like this, and I could choose it to be like that on the Samsung, it would be a lot better off. Because it's like half the screen, there's nothing going on. And I don't know why you would waste all that screen. And you can customize so much on this Samsung watch. Why wouldn't you be able to customize that? That's one of my complaints. Also, when I'm running with my Samsung pace, is like, I'm not really sure what they're using for pace. My Garmin has a lot of different options, but my lap pace is what I go by, which tells me what my expected lap time is going to be. So Samsung jumps all over the place. I'm running an 8-minute mile, and this thing tells me I'm running a 10.5-minute mile. 2 minutes later, I'm running a 12-minute mile. And that's been consistently off since I've had this watch for about 3 weeks. So, very frustrating. Why are you going to have a pace if it's going to be 4 minutes off? That doesn't make sense. That's just a math algorithm that they use. So, that seems easily fixable, but they've had these, Samsung's had watches for how many years now? Like, that should be pretty fixed. This shouldn't be a problem at this point. So Garmin definitely wins the screen race as far as customizability, if that's a word, and just the way it looks. You can have multiple screens with each of these watches. I only have one. I don't plan on going through different things when I'm running. Samsung, I can get out of what I'm doing and look at something else and then come back to it. That's really nice. I don't think I can. I can actually. Proved myself wrong. I'm not sure how to get back to it now. But, there we go. So, I guess you can get in and out of what you're doing, but notifications come through when you're running or when you're biking. They usually show up. My one complaint with Samsung is not all my notifications create a buzz, a vibration, and I have it too, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Bluetooth with these guys is just not the greatest. I'm right next to my phone, and Garmin's like, oh, you need to connect to your phone to get any notifications. I'm like, I'm right here. I'm doing this video with my phone, so I don't know. So when I get within 30 feet, Samsung does a really good job of telling me I have notification. Garmin's really behind. I don't know. It doesn't automatically sync or something. I can be right next to my phone and it still tells me I have no notifications. So that needs to be fixed on Garmin. But there's kind of a summary. I told you it's going to be longer than I wanted it to be. But I just think we're like 2 years away from smartphone watches being interchangeable. Right now there's obviously front runners, and Garmin, you need to get a little bit prettier with your UI. In my opinion, when you compare it to Samsung, you are blown away. Samsung needs to get better GPS chips or something, better tracking chips, better options on customizing stuff. When I'm biking with my Garmin, it won't tell me my lap pace. So I have to go into running mode to get my lap pace, my expected mile time. It's like my number one stat that I look at. So I don't know why you would have it in one fitness activity, but not another. Battery length of time. I think Samsung's going to drain faster, but there's more you can do with it. The screen's brighter and pops more, so I would assume it would take more battery. But I haven't used any of these today, and they've been plugged in since, until I did this video, and this is at 96%. Samsung, 99. That's odd, but usually Samsung's lower than Garmin, but not a big deal to me. They'll last a day, no problem. I ran, bike, and swam with them. They've been alright. They haven't got real low, probably 40% when I get done with that. So, yeah. Different things to fix. And I hope they do it soon because I want a reason to have one of these. And right now, when they're $300, they just lack certain things. I feel like they need to be perfect. So, activity, watch primarily, as far as running, biking, swimming, whatever else it does that I don't do. I think that would be the best watch for you. If you want primarily a smartwatch and a fitness watch second, then the Samsung will be the way to go. But I would make sure you get them on sale. I got them both for $250. So hope that helps somebody get a different perspective from reviews on here that maybe things they didn't cover. But those are kind of important things to me. So thanks for watching.